And good afternoon, race fans, or should I say good evening, as the lights are now coming on here at the world's fastest half mile, Bristol Motor Speedway. Dirt. We're getting ready for some good old short track dirt racing here tonight in our fourth race of the season of the Almond Joy Series. This should be a really interesting one. We've seen the Hershey's Cup Series come here before, but it'll be the first time we'll see the Xfinity type cars racing in these type of conditions, and not throwing out anything that might be unusual, but I'm telling you what, we saw them go 4 wide in a knockout qualifying session, so we might see some crazy racing here tonight. Remember, the nighttime is the right time to go racing. And Cody Smart lines up on his first pole of the season in the number 22 discount tire Ford Mustang. Alongside of him is going to be William Brock in the Tracker Boats Bash Pro Shops Chevy Camaro. Angel Navarro is going to roll off from third with Kev Shearer fourth, and Tyler Markle will complete the top 5 with last week's race winner from Las Vegas, Zachariah Hall, rolling off from the 6th position. We've had 3 races this season, 2 different winners. Of course, Matt Dallio winning the first 2 races of the season at Daytona and Rockingham, UK. Zachariah Hall become the second driver to win last week at Las Vegas. The points coming in this race are actually starting to close up again, too. Even though Matt Dallio had a quick start to the season, he is still the points leader, but he's only 11 points now over second place Benny Watson. Nick Gunther is third in points. Then it's Ryan George and Paul Minnick. That's your top 5 in the standings. Then it's Eric Hayden, DJ Curtis, Tyler Markle, who's rolling off from 5th. Jonathan Rains and Zachariah Hall's win jumped him up to 10th in the point standings. And keep in mind, this season we do have a chase, so as things stand right now, Matt Dallio and Zachariah Hall would have themselves locked up a spot in this season's chase for the championship. It's time to go down trackside. Let's get those most famous words in motorsports and go racing here tonight at Bristol.
Drivers, start your engine! Run!
So here we go, an opportunity tonight under the lights at Bristol Motor Speedway for maybe a third driver to pick up a victory and maybe lock themselves up a spot in this season's 12-driver chase for the championship. We got a car already with trouble. Did not get going. That's the 48 of Tyler Markle, 8th in the standings. Was going to roll off from 5th. Oh, and that is a tough break there from Markle. That's the second time we've ended up having somebody have a breakdown at the start of the race. Back at Rockingham, UK, Nick Johnson was on the pole, and he ended up having a breakdown. But we're getting ready to go green, and we have no inside line behind Navarro. Green flag's out, though. Here we go. Cody Smart will get us underway at Bristol Dirt, but certainly a mixed match looking start. The drivers trying to figure out where they had to go after the breakdown, apparently, by Tyler Markle. And right now we got a battle for the second position. Zachariah Hall wasting no time going up here to the front, and this probably feels good for someone like Zachariah Hall. You've got to win already. You can go all out here and battle hard, as they are 4 wide further back. And oh my goodness, it's crazy back here. DJ Curtis, Elijah Gordon, Nick Johnson, they were up there in a 4 wide situation, and the caution flag is out. And we got trouble. That's the 16 of Cody Hagan. I saw Carmichael Jazzen, and the leaders nearly wrecked into him, and oh, they're starting to stack up back here at the rear of the field, too. Don't do that. Oh, Brooke Allen got in the back of Paul Minnick. Nick Gunther might have gotten in the back of Allen. Careful, people. We're under caution, so this at least will bunch the field back up. We'll maybe get things settled out. Looks like Seth Cole's got some right side damage and some rear damage on his 99. Oh, he's got left side damage, too. A lot of damage on the 98. Saw Cody Hagan had been turned around. Carmichael Jazzen, I think it made some contact. There's Tyler Markle on pit road, and it looked like Markle had actually was under power, so I don't rightly understand what happened to him. Looks like he actually did get the car fired, limped it back around to his pit stall, and we've already got, wow, we got 3 drivers already out of the race. Markle out of the race with a header problem. Matt Dallio, the points leader, is out of the race, along with Cody Hagan. So let's jump back and see what happened to those drivers. This was a battle just outside the top 20. I think it was actually for the 20th position. Seth Cole to the inside of Cody Hagan. And watch right here. This is just dirt track racing. Seth Cole gets loose. Car slips up on him. Nowhere for Cody Hagan to go. And then you're going to see in mere moments, if you can see through the dust that's lingering there through the turn 3 area, Watch here as the cars will slide down the progressive banking here. The high banks just nowhere for the points leader Matt Dallio to go. Grayson Acavito also gets a piece of that incident too, and that took the points leader Matt Dallio out of this race. Look at Mike Becker. Whoa! Put her way down to the bottom. Brooke Allen might have made a slight bit of contact there. Not exactly 100% sure. And there's Joseph Romero almost coming to a dead stop to try and get through. He did actually make some contact. And Kermika Jasmine, I don't think, hit anybody. But watch here. We're going to fast forward just the least little bit. There's Jay Jefferson there in the 28. But watch here. That's the race leader right there that just came into view. Right there. As Jefferson's going to get around, here comes Cody Smart. Here comes Kev Shearer. Here comes Zachariah Hall. And Navarro is going to jump to the high side. So does Julio Cesar. Everybody somehow was able to split those two race cars. So that was awfully fortunate. Davey Johnson was on pit road for some reason there in the 05 as well. Not certain what that was about. But we're under caution for the first time here tonight at Bristol Dirt. Let's go back to green. And I had the banners up. Lights are still on atop the pace car, so we'll go green fairly shortly. There's another car on pit road, and that is the 39 of Jesse Turner. A couple of drivers have been on and off of pit road in this one, under this caution. Turner's got some front end damage, not exactly sure where that came from, probably from that stack up we saw. And now we will be going back green. Cody Smart will be the leader, Kev Shearer second, then it's Hall, Navarro, and Cesar. That is the top five. Then it will be Jeffrey Finguy, William Brock, John Andrews, Mitchell Carter, and Isaac Canepa. Davey Johnson is at least one lap down and will restart in the 37th position on the inside line. And as mentioned, there are three drivers out of the race. Cody Hagan, Matt Dallio, and Tyler Markle. That's huge as far as the points because that's the points leader, Matthew Dallio, and 8th in the points, Tyler Markle. As the green flag's back out, we're back underway at Bristol Dirt. And Davey Johnson trying to get himself back onto the lead lap, and Zachariah Hall just moved by for the top position. Hall to the point. Kev Shearer into second. Now trying to reel in Zachariah Hall. Julio Cesar just moved up to the third spot. And now the battle's on for fourth between Jeffrey Finguy and Cody Smart. We almost went three wide for the lead there coming out of turn 4. Kev Shearer trying to get the run to the inside on Zachariah Hall, and he is there. Caution's out, but we're racing back to the line. Can Kev Shearer get Zachariah Hall for the lead and lead under this caution? He will indeed. New leader, the 14, under our second caution of the evening. And hopefully the wrecking isn't still happening for these drivers to have to try and dodge, but I guess they did. They made it through. Right side damage on Paul Minnick. You got Jay Jefferson back here, so I don't know. Oh, Nigel Navarro, who rolled off from the third position, is apparently the reason for this, our most recent caution. And Brooke Allen as well. And apparently Jay Jefferson's coming into his pit stall. Yes, he is, 28. And Brooke Allen is out of the race. A lot of damage on the 18 of Eric Hayden as well. That is 6th in the point standings coming into tonight's race. I also saw, quite a buckle on the hood of Caitlin Sang's 07. William Brock, who started outside the front row. He is coming to pit road. So under our second caution of the evening here at Bristol Dirt, Kev Shearer is the leader. Let's take a look at the replay of what just happened. And here's what happened. Watch the 18 of Eric Hayden. Shades of what happened to Seth Cole for our first caution right there. Car snaps loose. Slides right up the track. Nowhere for Navarro to go. Collects William Brock as well. So that's why the 3 had to come to pit road. And then everybody else going to try and make their way through here. And I don't know if anybody's going to get damage here. Richard Johnson, little contact right there. And then here comes Brooke Allen. Wham! And there's where Jay Jefferson got his damage. And up and over end goes the 25 of Navarro. Jay Jefferson spinning as well. And there you see the contact as well, the damage sustained by the 18 of Eric Hayden. So, wow. Hard impact here at Bristol Dirt. The 25 just gets clobbered by the 0. And that puts us under our second caution of the evening. Looks like very loosey-goosey conditions here tonight at Bristol Dirt. Well, it's Bristol, and more so, it's Bristol Dirt Racing. So more than likely, you have to expect this race to be a race of attrition. But surprisingly enough, we've actually had a couple of green flag runs here before that caution has reared its ugly head. Kev Shearer out in front, though, now. He'll be the leader for the restart. Zachariah Hall lines up second. Julio Cesar in third. You got the lap car there of Davey Johnson, who did not manage to stay on the lead lap before that caution came out, so he'll restart on the inside line once again. Fourth place starter will be Jeffrey Finguy, and Nick Johnson will start fifth. Then it'll be Cody Smart, then Mitchell Carter, Chris Dollerton, John Andrews, and Jordan Lopez. Lights are out top the pace car. Let's see if we got any other cars behind the wall after this incident, and indeed we do. Jay Jefferson out of the race along with Angel Navarro and Brooke Allen. So we have 6 drivers out of the race. 2 cars are off the lead lap. Jesse Turner is 2 laps down, and Davey Johnson is 1 lap down as we get ready to go back green flag racing once again. Kev Shearer going to try and get a jump here and get ahead of the lap machines. Green flag back out here on lap 14. Still a long ways to go in this one, and look at Zachariah Hall up the middle, 3 wide. Trying to take the lead, and Kev Shearer goes way wide through the corner, and Zachariah Hall goes to the lead. We're 4 wide. Splitting the car of Jesse Turner, that's Jeffrey Finguy way down on the bottom. And he'll move by for second. Kev Shearer gets the wall off of 2. Finguy now moves to second. I think they're 4 wide again, or they were close to it. They were 3 wide, all trying to get around Jesse Turner. Look at the racing up here up front. Nick Johnson now going to try and take second position away from Jeffrey Finguy. He'll do it. 3 wide for the lead, maybe at the line. Johnson to the inside of Zachariah Hall. There's Nick Gunther, apparently had to come to pit road, and they're going to go 3 wide again. Caution's out as Hall gets the wall off of 2. Nick Johnson, the leader, trying to lead them back to the caution. Kev Shearer tries to get the spot. Can't do it. Nick Johnson will lead us under caution number 3. Oh, and a lot of cars smoking here on the back straightaway. That's Joseph Romero, Eric Hayden. There's a lot more I saw there too. Chris Dollerton, who restarted inside the top 10. Also, Jeffrey Finguy and Julio Cesar. William Brock involved. Colin Denton, Ryan George. That is 4th in the standings, Ryan George. Dollerton is smoking. Connor Breton might have been involved. Cody Smart is way back here now. And we are under our 3rd caution of the evening. Bristol Motor Speedway being a point shaker, and I think Nick Gunther had to make an unscheduled stop or something. And I believe he is now a lap down. I might be wrong. Let's look. Yeah, he's 2 laps down. William Brock 6 laps down now, and we're under our 3rd caution of the evening. Nick Johnson may be trying to make up for the fact he started on the pole 2 weeks ago at Rockingham UK, but had a mechanical failure that took him out of the race. Maybe trying to get some revenge here tonight at Bristol Dirt. He leads under our 3rd yellow flag of the night. Let's take a look at what brought it out. Well, we had 2 incidents in this one. Ryan George battling side by side with Chris Dollerton, and Dollerton drives it in and gets loose. Comes up and collects Ryan George, and I don't think you'll see it further back. We probably have to jump back. There you see right there, Cody Smart got clipped by Connor Breton, who also had the same issue. We'll go back and look at that again with those 2. There's where Colin Denton gets involved. He gets into Connor Breton. Dollerton, I believe, got clipped by his teammate Becker, and then nowhere for Joseph Romero to go in the 87 car. But the 18 was also smoking. Oh, there he is. And who is he going to clobber? Is it going to be the 87 up ahead? Yeah, I think he sideswipes Joseph Romero and spins the 2 of them around. But let's actually rewind it back just a little bit so we can find out. Okay, so I guess Cody Smart actually continued on. He kind of drove away from the incident. And yeah, just the same deal that we've had all night long. No grip. It's a dirt track. It's hard to find grip, and there you see he goes up and just barely clips the left rear quarter panel of the pole sitter Cody Smart. How about Elijah Gordon? Evasive maneuvers, cutting right down in front of Seth Cole to avoid Chris Dollerton. DJ Curtis also doing a nice job avoiding. And I don't know for certain if Becker does get damaged or not. They made a little bit of contact, but you can't really see any visible right side damage on the 98 car. So that's what put us under the caution once again. The garage area is starting to fill up with littered race cars at the current moment. And we're about ready to go back green as well here tonight at Bristol. Well, Elijah Gordon is on pit road as we speak. I also saw another car on the pit lane that actually just left the pit lane, and I don't right offhand remember who it was. So it was Jonathan Rains in the 46, who comes into this race 9th in the point standings. We've gotten the signal of 1 lap to green. Nick Johnson shows the way over Kev Shear, Zachariah Hall. How about Benny Watson up there in the 4th position now? Where'd he come from? And Mitchell Carter right now runs in the 5th spot. Then it's Lopez. James Qualls now up in 7th. Great run for him. And then it'll be John Andrews, Eric Hayden, and Jeremy Jones now completes the top 10 as we get ready to go back to green. Green flag back out. Drivers out of the race after the last incident include, actually we didn't even look back to see what happened to Jeffrey Finguy and Julio Cesar. We'll look back at that if we have another caution. But also Ryan George, Chris Darlington, and Joseph Romero all out of the race. As Nick Johnson battling with the lap machine of Davey Johnson. Kev Shearer waiting to see if a line opens up. There's a car back there in the wall. That is Zachariah Hall in the 4. Last week's winner. Up and into the fence, and he's up and into it maybe again off this corner as he's trying to get around Jesse Turner on the high side. Oh, Kermika Jasin gets up into John Andrews, and they nearly wrecked, and boy, that 4 car cannot get off the wall right now. Let's move back up here as we got a battle on for the lead. Kev Shear got around Nick Johnson, and now Benny Watson will go to the top position. Watson finished runner-up to Zachariah Hall last week at Las Vegas, trying to pick up his first win of the season, and we might be under the yellow. I couldn't tell. Yes, we are. Caution flag is out for the 4th time here tonight. Benny Watson will lead us under this yellow flag over Kev Shear, Nick Johnson. Oh, and Watson. Is he coming to pit road? Oh, look out. Slow cars. That was Richard Johnson and Connor Breton that were slow and stopped there just ahead of the race leaders. And Zachariah Hall, last week's winner, was involved in this one. Eric Hayden as well. Richard Johnson on pit road. Connor Breton in his 2nd incident of the evening as well involved. And the caution flag rears its ugly head one more time here tonight at Bristol Dirt. So Benny Watson, who finished runner-up last week to Zachariah Hall and comes into this race 2nd in the point standings, is out in front showing the way. I think when we go back green, we'll have less than 10 to go, but for now, we're going to look back at a replay. First of the incident involving Jeffrey Finguy and Julio Cesar, and then what brought out this, our most recent caution. So here was the incident earlier between Julio Cesar and Jeffrey Finguy, and both were running in the top 10. They just see, oh my goodness gracious. The 20 gets lodged into the infield wall, flips up into the air, and then comes down to rest on the hood of the 90 car. That is a hard impact. And oh my goodness, look out Mike Becker. Boy, Becker has been just barely sliding his way through these incidents, just scraping through. But Finguy was running in the 3rd position. Cesar was running in 4th, and they both wrecked and had that impact. Good grief. Now let's see what actually brought out this caution, this most recent caution. Well, they say short tracks breed short tempers, and Zachariah Hall had been having a lot of difficulty getting around the slower lap machine of Jesse Turner, and I think that he had finally just had enough. They see right here, he's just going to run Turner up into the wall. Hall had been up in the wall for a number of laps trying to get around the 39, and I think he just ran out of patience with Jesse Turner. But unfortunately for him, he's the one that got turned around right in front of a Morris Studemeyer Jr. DJ Curtis just barely gets by, as does Grayson Acavito. But then here comes Richard Johnson flying in and just nowhere for the 93 to go. Hard impact right there for Richard. And then I believe he's going to come back down the racetrack is Richard Johnson. And I believe that's where you're going to see the emergence of a couple of cars that were off the pace. Connor Breton and Eric Hayden. In the 17, the 18, here comes Breton flying in, never slowed up. He clobbers Richard Johnson. And then Eric Hayden in the 18 car is about to enter into the fray. 6th in the standings. Eric Hayden, I should mention as well. And if you look right side of your screen, he'll be entering into the picture, and he doesn't slow down, and he slams into Connor Breton with the right front of his Toyota Camry. So that is what put us under our most recent caution. The tempers are starting to get short here tonight at Bristol. So we haven't gotten the 1 to go signal yet. If we get it this time, that means we'll still have the lap cars to contend with. If we get a couple more laps under pacing here and go back green on lap 30, we shouldn't have the lap cars to contend with. But Benny Watson will be the race leader when we go back green. Kev Shearer second, Nick Johnson third, Mitchell Carter and Jordan Lopez, I should say, they complete the top 5. How about Jonathan Zoyland? Haven't talked about the 62 tonight, now up in the 6th position as we've gotten the signal 1 to green. James Qualls in 7th, Carmichael Jazz in 8th, Seth Cole in 9th, and completing the top 10 is Jeremy Jones. After that incident, cars out of the race, Eric Hayden, Zachariah Hall, Richard Johnson, and Connor Breton. We have a total of 23 cars still running, 20 of them on the lead lap. There you see the lap cars, Nick Gunther, Davey Johnson, and Jesse Turner. When we restart, we will have 11 laps to go here tonight at Bristol. Will we finish them under green? I doubt it, but we could get surprised. Green flag back out. Benny Watson gets us back underway at Bristol. And going to have a little bit of difficulty there with the lap traffic of Nick Gunther and Davey Johnson. Gunther gets himself back on to, I believe, now the tail end of the lead lap. Or was he 2 laps down? He was 2 laps down, so now he's only 1 lap down. Benny Watson trying to get through the lap cars up the middle. Contact with Nick Gunther and puts him into the wall. And here comes Kev Shearer to the inside line. This is for the race lead between the 89 and the 14. You've got the car of Davey Johnson in the middle of this, who right now currently is on the tail end of the lead lap, and Watson runs way wide in that corner. Kev Shearer will take the race lead. Jordan Lopez now moves in, or is battling for second with Benny Watson, and Watson crosses over. He's going back to the bottom, looking for the race lead again. What a move there by Benny Watson, and he will take the top position back from Kev Shearer. We're still green, and we've got 7 laps to go. Can we finish this race under green flag conditions? Oh, 1 car in the wall back there. That was Nick Johnson in the 42. As the battle is on for second, Kev Shearer's got it. Carmichael Jazin wants it. Jordan Lopez right in the mix as well. And here comes Mitchell Carter in the 52. Got really loose right there. Loses a little bit of ground. Seth Cole's up to the 6th position. And I believe he was involved in our first caution of the evening, as now new second place car, Carmichael Jazin, the Brandt Chevrolet. Then you've got now Jordan Lopez. He'll move by Kev Shearer for 3rd. It's Jazin trying to reel in the 89 of Benny Watson. But here comes Jordan Lopez. That's the battle for 2nd. They may go 3 wide into turn 1. With 4 laps to go here at Bristol. Benny Watson showing the way. Oh, Davey Johnson gets into the wall back there. Watson trying to hang on for 3 more times here at Bristol Dirt. Nobody really up there to be able to challenge him for the spot, as the battle still continues for 2nd. Carmichael Jazin has it. Kev Shearer wants it, but they're losing touch with the race leader, Benny Watson. Watson finished runner-up last week to Zachariah Hall. He came into this race 2nd in the points. Looks like tonight at Bristol Dirt, he'll close the deal on both of those 2 deals. He'll be the points leader and probably the race winner. White flag displayed, will race back to the checkers no matter what. Benny Watson with almost a 2nd lead between himself and Kev Shearer. They're 3 wide back there for 3rd, but out of turn 4 for the final time. Benny Watson picks up his first win of his Almond Joy Series career here tonight at Bristol. Well, it took us 4 caution flags, but we got to run the last 11 laps of the race under green. And Benny Watson closes the deal from last week. He tried to reel in Zachariah Hall at Las Vegas, couldn't do it. Tonight, he takes the lead and doesn't give it up. Watson with the victory. That will undoubtedly put him top of the leaderboard in the point standings as well, after Matthew Dallio finished out of this race in the 39th position. Kev Shearer, his best finish of the season in second. Jordan Lopez in third. Mitchell Carter fourth. And Carmichael Jasmine will get fifth. Seth Cole battles back for sixth. James Qualls, I think that's his best finish of the season, in seventh. Nick Johnson gets eighth. Jeremy Jones in ninth. And completing the top 10, Jonathan Zorlin. How about the avoidance guy tonight? Mike Becker, he'll get 11th. Caitlin Sang gets 12th. Jonathan Rains 13th. 14th, Grayson Acavito and John Andrews in 15th. Then 16th was Elijah Gordon. DJ Curtis will settle for 17th. Amori Studmeyer Jr. will get an 18th. Cody Smart, the pole sitter, in 19th. And the last car to finish on the lead lap was Paul Minnick. He will finish in 20th. 3 cars finished off the lead lap. 21st place, Davey Johnson, Nick Gunther in 22nd, and Jesse Turner 23rd. And then you look on down through all the drivers that DNF'd, and some of the drivers, big names right there that came into this race. Top 10 in the point standings, including Eric Hayden, Zachariah Hall, also Ryan George, and then, of course, Matthew Dallio and Tyler Markle. Dallio came in the points leader. Markle came in 8th. So that's going to do it from tonight's race at Bristol Dirt. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We'll show you the full finish results again, once again, down through the 40th position. There they are. And now it's time for you to look at your point standings heading into next week's race. Memory serves me correctly. I don't quite remember where we're going. I'll have to look at the schedule. But regardless, we're going to cap off to this week's race weekend with the Hershey's Cup Series running their race here at Bristol Dirt. If tonight's race was any indication, we're in for a doozy. This should be a very interesting Hershey's Cup Series race. And no doubt about it, Bristol Dirt, here at least in the Almond Joy Series, definitely playing a factor as far as a point shaker. So it might do the same thing over in the Hershey's Cup Series. Also keep in mind, Benny Watson with the win here tonight may have locked himself up a spot in the Almond Joy Series chase for the championship. So looks like maybe him, Matthew Dallio, and Zachariah Hall making early cases for themselves to be battling for the championship later on this season. But anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll continue on the race weekend here from Bristol with Hershey's Cup Series tomorrow night, as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, offline racing at its best.